I was also in there for a little bit, and I got very excited.
Wow, we were harmonizing like beautifully.
It was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
It was eloquent.
Mm.
It was pure impromptu art. Improvisation of the highest degree.
Yeah.
Guys, let's be honest with ourselves here. It was trash.
We're already starting out on a negative note.
Starting strong.
Well, fuck it. I was gonna do a proper introduction, but this is Conor, man.
You guys remember our references to Dollar Store Thor?
Yeah.
We have the gentleman here and now.
Yes, he's been gone all summer. We would have had him on like way earlier, but he had to go back to his homeland.
Listen, man, I'm sorry.
Of Asgard.
I'm sorry. I'm a broke college kid. What do you expect me to do?
Listen.
Hey,
just because
listen.
Like Odin may have taken care of you over summer, but now you're back in Fort Myers with all the local music and all the local music scene.
Yeah.
And
I
now
know, dude.
you get to be a hipster college student. How does it feel, Conor?
I don't want to be a hipster college student. I just want to
too
be.
late.
I just want to be a Toys R Us kid.
R.I.P. Toys R Us. Is it Toys R Us that went down?
Yeah.
Oh, they went down hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rest in peace,
the
my boy.
kids aren't playing toys anymore. Like,
Rest
no
in peace,
shit.
my boy Jeffrey the Giraffe.
They got,
I love you forever, guy.
They got Candy Crush and shit. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Like mobile gaming. That's what it is. Like
Yeah.
Freemium gaming, sir.
freemium.
Yeah, it's not that kids aren't
Fortnite, boy.
playing. Kids are
It's free.
Kids aren't playing toys anymore, but you know they got the toys just got transferred to a phone, to a mobile.
That's
Yeah, pretty
really
much.
sad, though.
Yeah,
I still have like some of my Legos and Bionicles and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
I
but
love
you know what?
playing
You
with
know
those.
what a kid is gonna say when he looks at that shit? He's gonna go like,
Hey, fuck out of here! Get that shit. You just throw it away.
he's gonna be like, why would you want that?
Yeah.
Well, you can do the same thing on a phone.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can, but it's not something you can actually interact with.
Yeah.
And
You can interact with a lot of shit on the phone. It's gotten really creative nowadays. Like it's not like just these normal like just clunky like
there
like
are full
one-dimensional
RPGs that are
Yeah.
available on mobile.
Yeah,
mobile
it's
apps.
fully interactive and shit. And plus, you include like VR and shit.
I guess.
Yeah,
fuck
like yeah,
But
it's going all the way.
Have we gotten to the point where we can actually interact with VR stuff, or is it still just viewing things?
They're VR games.
Yeah,
But how expensive are they?
Kind of affordable actually.
yeah, it's pretty affordable. It's not as expensive as it was. Like
It's
years
like
ago.
getting a new console and then a game for the console.
Yeah, people got expendable money, man.
I don't.
That's why you call it. We know we call you Dollar Store Thor.
You're right.
Oh my gosh. So so let's talk about a weekend because we all spent the weekend together. It was Labor Day weekend this past weekend. Oh, by the way, we want to say, I don't know if you guys know. Well, first of all, R.I.P. Aretha Franklin. Right,
Rest in peace, for sure.
Yes.
And Mac Miller.
And Mac Miller, yes, it literally happened
Today,
a couple hours ago.
What?
Bro, I was
overdosed at 26.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Oh no, there was one more, an actor.
Burt Reynolds.
Yes, Burt Reynolds.
Burt
Yeah,
Reynolds
he also
as well.
he's a native
Yeah.
Floridian, I believe, also. So
Yeah.
God
yeah.
damn.
But especially rest in peace, Mac Miller, because you literally like as we're recording this podcast today. What's today's date?
Today is the 7th.
The 7th. Right, literally a couple hours ago. I was literally at work, and I was getting off work. I looked at my phone because my phone was like charging. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like, I just saw him trending, and like I just saw like a whole million tweets about him. Like, oh no.
I was
like-
chilling in my room watching funny YouTube videos, and then
Right.
my roommate walks by, and he's like, "Yo, I just found out, and I hope this isn't crushing your mood, but Mac Miller died." And I was like, "What the heck, dude?
Yeah.
That's totally crushing my mood.
Yeah.
Why would you tell me
like
that?"
immediately hearing the news, just that heart's
Yeah.
pounding.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
Like, I don't listen to a lot of Mac Miller's stuff, but I still
Yeah.
appreciate what he did for music. So I'm just like, this really hurts me, because having another great talent go so early in their
26
life.
too. I'm 25, so like,
Sydney, it's almost time.
yeah. Man, like it's weird too, because like I actually did like listen to Mac Miller ever since I think Watching Movies with the Sound Off, his second album, ever listening to him. And I've been somewhat consistently listening to him. I didn't listen to his last album, Swimming, But I listened to the one before that, Divine Feminine or whatever it was called. But yeah. You know, rest in peace, Mac Miller. It was very, very tragic, the way it happened. But man, it's just sad to see.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well,
But back to this weekend, which was a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yes. So this past weekend, so we went to our homie's place. Have we mentioned him on the podcast before?
we haven't mentioned him by name.
Okay, well, I won't say his name, but we went to our good homie's place over this weekend. Me, Connor, and John. We all traveled.
And our friend Aaron. Let's not forget.
Yeah,
Aaron.
I'm sorry, Aaron too. Who was?
By the way, shout out to
podcast.
episode 4 and Aaron from episode 4 with Conor.
Love both of those guys.
If you guys want to get a sense of Aaron's personality, maybe have an idea of where to find him for recordings.
Yes.
He has his information on that episode.
Oh yeah, did speaking of recording, did Your Glow contact you?
Yes.
Okay, because you know they were asking me on Instagram and stuff like that. But anyways, so yeah, we all went to go to my homie's place. It was his birthday, and we went over. It was on the East Coast, so we did a little trip. We got there kind of late.
Yeah.
Which was expected, but we still had fun for the most
We
part.
initially were gonna get there around like 9:30.
Yeah.
And
We were
then
trying to.
And then John missed a turn, and it took us like an extra 30 minutes.
Hey.
And that's because I'm not blaming you, John. It's because Google Maps was like, I'm not gonna talk to you because I'm angry at you. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. It's like a mad girlfriend. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
You know what?
Okay, baby? Yeah, everything's fine.
No, it was the redneck that came out and she yelled out, "Skirkadoo!"
Hey, skirk-doo.
Oh my god, dude! I mean, like, if you're a person who lives in Florida, if you haven't actually left, like,
if you're from anywhere that is not Miami, Tampa, Orlando, Tallahassee, or Jacksonville, and even Fort Myers to an extent, the rest of Florida is a completely different place.
Yeah. I'm so amazed. I'm from the Florida Keys originally, from Key West and shit like that. So, like, whenever, like, some of those parts that we were driving by, I never even seen before. I've never even gone past. And I'm just like, yo, these niggas have been living like this this entire time? Like, it's literally like a night and day. And it's so fucking weird because, like, you know, like, Florida doesn't really get the same level of, I think it does, but, like it you know, California normally gets its name thrown in the pot,
right.
Texas and shit like that. Florida is just as big and diverse as any of the other states, right? But Florida kind of just like gets the, you know, Orlando, Miami, all, you know, the two cities that most people talk about. Maybe a Tampa, maybe a Jacksonville.
I get
like
more
that.
Tampa and Miami than I do Orlando.
Really?
Or, not Orlando. Excuse me, Miami. I'm from Central Florida though, so Tampa and Orlando are right there.
Okay, no, people definitely talk about Miami. Like, Miami is like
absolutely.
this staple.
I know that's
place
where
to go
everybody
to.
goes to party, and that's just not my
Yeah.
style. So maybe that's why I don't hear anything about Miami ever.
Yeah, no. Miami is so popular that Fort Lauderdale, which is not Miami,
Is often mistaken.
well,
They're the same thing.
No.
Come on.
Here's the thing, because they sell T-shirts at the gift shops over by the beach in Fort Lauderdale, saying, "I went to Miami, bitch," and
Yeah.
I never actually went to Miami.
That's funny.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, we should go to Fort Lauderdale then. That's like the discounted Miami, because Miami's pretty expensive. But no,
No,
like,
it's literally like you want half price on everything. Go to Fort Lauderdale. The beaches are just as nice.
yeah. So we went to our homie's place, and we just had to just, like, you know, feel his heartache, as, you know, he was trying to. I think we all been there where we're interested in somebody, and we kind of have this whole divisive plan to get our friends together, have a little party, some conversation, some drinking.
Be that guy at the party that sings songs and plays acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't
And
talk
shit-
about yourself like that.
and shit
That's
just
very
doesn't work out.
self-deprecating.
You know?
I will tell you though, I will say the highlight of that trip was actually on the way there, just before we picked up Aaron, seeing that car with the bumper stickers.
Hey.
Oh my god!
That-
What did it fucking say
That
again?
may be your highlight, but I've got another one.
There were 3 bumper stickers that said InfoWars to some extent. Like 2 of them were InfoWars bumper stickers.
One of them said they're putting fluoride in the water or something like that.
Yeah, this is like full on Alex Jones
Hold on.
conspiracy.
Then it said
right?
Trump 2020
Okay.
and Trump Pence 2016.
Right.
And I was like, "Oh my god!"
You know how bad your bumper stickers are. That Trump 2020 and Trump 2016 is the least problematic thing on your car. I'm kind of okay with that in comparison to all the other shit on the car. This is me speaking as a black person too.
Oh jeez.
I'm like, you know what? Compared to everything else, that's not so bad.
So, because podcasts follow podcasts, I was following the H3 podcast.
H3, shout out.
So this is the confirmed, like, legit story. He was got.
Yeah, no. What happened was he was trying to sell one of his products.
Right.
I think he was partnering with like Weight Watchers or something like that.
Right.
You know, if you wanna keep your frogs from going gay, you need to. You need to lose some weight so you can run from the tyranny that is the lizard people in government.
Yeah.
But like, what it was that for a split second, just a fraction of a second, he closed the window and it showed all of his previous tabs or his history.
Oh.
Like when you make a new tab in Google Chrome and you see all your frequently visited pages.
No incognito. As much as he's on the internet.
Yeah, no incognito.
Wow, that is like lesson number one.
And they saw
like one of the many lessons in the beginning that you learned.
They saw like half a screenshot from like one of the frequently visited tabs or whatever.
Right.
And the title of the video was something along the lines of like, "Cock hungry T babe satisfies," or no, the sexy T babe satisfies cock hunger with young stud or something like that.
Oh jeez.
And
I mean, it is not like edited by somebody or whatever. Like, you know,
no.
I assume Alex Jones didn't comment on it. Like, oh yeah, I definitely was watching Turn anymore.
He just denied.
Right.
So he did actually have a response a few days later.
Here's the thing. Like, I'm inclined to believe it because it's the classic case of does protest too much, right? People who are normally like, you know, the classic case of like the bully who's like screaming like. How like it's that gay shit, that's gay, XYZ is gay, and turns out
and then you find out he finally found his husband.
Always 5 or 6 years later after high
married.
school turns out he was gay, and I was actually I was listening to another podcast and I think it was Brilliant and Andrew Schultz. He was talking to this trans person. It was a male to female. Right, and he was talking to him. He's like, and the trans person was saying that like back in the day, right, he used to say wild stuff about women and had very misogynistic and typical views in the past or whatever that would be considered misogynistic today, right? Despite the fact that he clearly doesn't feel that same way now. Now he's transgender and shit like that. But like like it's
Sydney. I think this is a sign.
Hey man, I'm completely fine with that, but like I am inclined to believe that Alex Jones watches tranny porn.
I think it's hilarious because you just like this is the point where like where he trips. And it's such a big blunder because like he's had such a powerful statement.
Yeah, I'm saying like
against like
any transgender, he's not gonna call him other proper pronouns and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah. So what else you guys do this past week? That you had the Labor Day weekend. What else you guys do for the weekend?
Well, we went to Guitar Center after we dropped you off.
Yeah.
We met a couple of dudes there, a couple sales dudes, really friendly guys. And
sometimes they were a little too friendly.
I think they were trying very hard to like build that rapport for the sale, boy.
And I'm just like, dude, I'm not even trying to buy anything. Chill out. I'm not gonna go after you either. Like, relax. For real.
Well.
All
right. So you ready to start some questions, Connor?
I mean, do I have a choice?
You got no choice, motherfucker.
That's what I thought.
On the John's Closet podcast. So we're gonna start out slow like we normally do. Gonna start out way back.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Just start with Dollar Store before the Thor.
Yeah.
Before your rise.
Before I picked up the hammer.
Before you picked up the hammer. Right. That's right. So yeah, so tell us your
So Odin was holding you in his arms.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us your journal. Start with music. Like, what's your
said
music?
This sun is cheap.
What's your music history, bro? Like you know,
playing history or just music period?
What's your relationship with music in the
Give us your origin story.
Your origin story.
Okay.
When you were younger.
So
living in Asgard, aka Lakeland.
I mean, it is Asgard. Thank you.
It's a multi-dimensional place.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up. I don't know how to explain it. My dad listened to a lot of country, bluegrass, blues, classic rock. My mom listened to more classic rock and Christian music. So I had a bunch of different things that I could pull from and that I enjoyed very, very much. There's no one kind of music that I like more than the other, really.
Right.
I just kind of got into everything all at once. And even when I was little, my mom used to have videotapes, like on VHS tapes. Old school. Really old school.
Right.
Of me, whatever's on the radio, like I'm just dancing to it in my like baby seat when I was still like in diapers and everything. Playing music started off. You're in
a band, right?
I was in band, but even before that, I'd been trying to get my dad to buy me a guitar for years. And he was just like, no, it ain't happening. Sorry, not sorry. It isn't happening.
So why wouldn't he buy you the guitar?
I don't know. I love my dad, but he's a very interesting individual, to say the least.
You know, as I realized as a grown owner, like whenever my parent wouldn't buy me something or whatever, most of the time they probably couldn't afford it. To be honest.
That's part of it, I'm guessing, because at the time when I wanted to start playing, my dad had just started his new job, and it was like a very rocky start for him, because he was starting his own business with a couple of other people from the ground up.
That's always
and he'd have to drive down to Sarasota like for 3-4 days out of the week to stay down there and like work.
And your mom will watch you.
My parents were divorced.
Okay.
My parents separated when I was like 7. But playing music, I started in 6th grade. I was in band, played clarinet.
Were you good at the clarinet?
No.
Pussy playing the clarinet.
Hey man, it's a thing. It got me playing music. It wasn't what I wanted to play. Like every other guy, I wanted to play saxophone because it was like cool as hell.
Yeah.
But
there's nothing cooler than a shirtless, sexy sax man in suspenders in a fake mustache.
That's what I wanted to be. But my band director, shout out to Miss Showline, she was like, "No, you're playing clarinet. Sorry, not sorry." And I'm
sorry,
like,
not sorry. Wow. That's another Demi Lovato song, ironically.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, I'm not sorry.
So I played clarinet all the way through my senior year of high school.
Right.
I picked up bass, which I consider my main instrument now.
Right.
My sophomore year of high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So not until like much later.
Yeah.
Before you.
I wanted to get into.
Why not guitar though?
I played clarinet, so sharp glass going into my ears. I had that for 7 years. I didn't need any more of that.
So you need to go like completely.
Yeah.
Just needed to just put a blanket over everything.
Like, at the same time I started clarinet, I also wanted to learn like cello or double bass, something like that, just because I wanted to have like a well-rounded musical experience. And then when I got to college, before I even get there, I was in a couple of bands, quote unquote,
like most people,
in high school, and we would
church bands.
No, I was not.
That's typically like the normal route, like you go to like a church bandish.
But like the first time I was in a band, it was me and my brother. Shout out to Santiago and our friend Albert. It was like a late night band rehearsal, something or other, and Albert needed help carrying his gear out to the baseball field because he was playing the national anthem for the school's baseball game. And
interesting.
Yeah, we helped him carry like his amp and the power cords and all that stuff out there. And afterwards, the school paper was interviewing him, and he was like, "Yeah, these are my bandmates." And I'm like, "We're in a band now?"
Wait, what the fuck? So you officially started this band?
Yeah.
Like, I just on the whim.
My brother was playing drums. He was playing guitar. I was playing bass. But we picked up another girl that went to high school with us as our singer. We played one song, or I played one song with the whole band, and then they did like a little acoustic set, and that was it. And then the band broke up after that.
Well, what was the what was the differences? What's the high school excuse? Like, yo, man, I feel like we're just going in a different direction. I feel like I got algebra 2 to worry about. I got AP.
Not all of
history.
us are John. We don't all do math, Sydney. Come on now.
What was the reason?
Everyone should do math. This is a PSA for math. Everyone should do math.
No, John, I'm going to disagree with you entirely. Like, math is important, yes, but that's not all you need to do. Come on.
It's worked out for me.
Not all of us are going to become teachers
yourself,
at a crappy community college, John.
Damn. I hope you keep that same fucking energy when you get a job right after college, and we come after your job like that.
We're gonna be like, not everyone can
just work at blah, 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 blah. Golly, coming at my boy like that, and he just started too.
He was working at FGCU beforehand, so it's not like he hasn't had practice.
Well, yeah, exactly. I was working at a university beforehand,
and then you downgraded.
Nah, I upgraded to 2 days a week. That's what I upgraded to.
But you were also taking classes at FGCU.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna give you a little break on that.
Yeah.
But
boy,
what question were we on, by the way?
Oh, so
your origin story.
Yeah.
In Odin's arms.
The band broke up, and it just kind of happened after that one show. Nobody else was interested in practicing anymore. I kept trying to get it going. My brother kept trying to get it going, me and him together, but everybody else just kind of blew us off.
Right.
So we just kind of quit while we were ahead, still had a little bit of experience, continued doing marching band and all that stuff. And that's kind of it until I get to college. Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to actually, before we get to the college part, because I have a very distinct part. So, what was the start with you fixing and doing the mechanics behind guitars and stuff like that? Because I think out of all of the people that we had on, I think that's probably your. Well, I can't speak for all of them. I don't know how many of them, but that's probably the so unique thing that it's about you, that you actually fix guitars and know how to fix them, and then you kind of know all the working parts behind it.
That's a whole other origin story.
Yeah,
Sydney.
no, I want to hear that too, and it's a podcast. So.
I've told this story before, and
not on the podcast.
This is my first time on the podcast, Sydney. Jeez, cut me some slack.
This is the first time Conor has told this story.
Yeah,
flat out. This is true, tried and true, first timer information.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So it started off my sophomore year of high school when I first started playing bass. My mom and I were living in downtown Lakeland in this little
How was downtown Lakeland?
I like it.
You like it?
It's been overrun by hipsters recently, which kind of hurts my heart.
Ooh.
But
they're trying to gentrify?
Yeah, they are gentrifying, and it's really, really bad.
Wow.
But
sounds like paradise.
I love parking lots. But I was out mowing the lawn one day, and our neighbors who had just moved in, they were out taking care of their yard work and stuff too. And so I introduced myself. The guy's name was Nick, and he's been one of my, I wouldn't say good friends because we got out of touch for a while, but I love that guy. Whenever I get a chance to go see his band play, I will. But we started talking about stuff, and he's like, yeah, I work on guitars. And I'm like, what?
What was the name of his band again?
A Brilliant Lie.
That's right.
Are they still together?
I think they're fantastic.
No, are they still together?
Oh, they're still together? Yes.
Okay. Nice.
They just got back, towards the end of summer from I think, U.S.-wide tour.
Oh, wow.
They went all the way up to Oklahoma.
That's pretty
and,
cool.
came back. It was they're really good.
Okay.
And I love those guys forever. But Nick and I started talking, and he was like, yeah, dude, if you want to come check out my little, workshop type deal, just, send me a text, let me know when you're coming over, and I'll show you around. So one day I needed some help on a bass that I had, my first acoustic bass.
Right.
And I took it over to him, and he's like, let me show you around the shop, show you my stuff. And I was like, okay.
Whoa!
I got very excited because I've always liked putting things together and building things.
Oh, okay. So this is like a geek or nerd overload. Like,
I
get to fix instruments.
I get to put things together.
Yeah.
It was at this moment that Connor's pants
exploded.
Yeah.
So shows me his shop. He has a little paint booth in the corner. He has all his tools hanging up on the wall. He had like 4 or 5 guitars just sitting in a rack. And he's like, yeah, this one needs blah, blah, blah. That one needs blah, blah, blah. And he's the one that got me interested in it. But then my buddy Albert and then our other friend Garrett, they were the first ones to like teach me how to do soldering and like work on the electrical side of things.
Tell me, what's for the layman's? What is soldering?
Soldering is attaching electronics together with like it's usually tin solder, sometimes it has lead, and it's just connecting wires and giving it an even better electrical flow so that a signal can run through it. Like if you look at a computer circuit board, on one side you'll have all the pieces like the capacitors, transistors, all that. If you look on the other side, there's all these little like vein looking things that are silver. That's solder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's just connecting electrical components. But they were the first ones that got me into working on it, and I started like rewiring guitars, rewiring basses, putting stuff together, painting things, and I just never looked back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was the feeling when you like just first
figured it out?
Figure it out and actually successfully like soldered a guitar. What was
it?
Like
it's honestly not that hard to do.
Hard. Really?
It's just time consuming in the sense that it's a lot of trial and error for certain things. You have to put certain wires in the right spots. You have to ground things. And that sort of stuff takes a while to figure out.
Yeah, and the better way that you solder, like the
better the connection
is.
The
better connection, the better sounding the guitar will sound. Like, what is the result of successful soldering and a good soldering?
Signal to noise, basically.
Yeah, you've got, if you hit a string on like an electric guitar, and your pickup, like the name suggests, picks up the vibrations because it's one big magnet. It'll send the electrical signal through wires and whatever other components you have in your guitar to your output jack, and then your output jack connects to your amp, and then you go from there. If it makes a sound, success. If it doesn't make a sound, keep working.
Okay. So it is like a
trial and error sort of thing.
It's a trial and error, but you kind of can you get to the point where you just fail at soldering, where okay, I can't actually do anything else to it.
I mean,
to the point where it just won't actually play.
It's not you; it's the parts that you use.
Okay,
if you put too much solder on a certain part, it gets useless after a while, and stuff starts to get dusty and all that. So it's after that certain point when stuff gives out. It's less you giving out and more the components that you're working with.
So how long, say you got a new bass guitar, how long would it take for you to solder it successfully so I could actually play?
Well, not that a new bass guitar doesn't play. It's more so that
if I wanted to rewire it myself, maximum an hour.
Oh wow.
If that. Okay. Usually it'll take me 30 minutes tops, depending on how intricate all the wiring is.
And that's usually because people like to have different things that control different whatever,
Isn't that right, John?
Yeah. So, Connor knows my gear pretty well. I'm pretty simple. I'm volume and tone, and that's all I need.
Don't lie to me, John.
You gotta Connor a lot to have your stuff fixed. So what other parts of the guitar? So you know how to solder. What other parts of the guitar do you know how to?
I also polish a lot of hardware and frets. I do cleaning fretboards, which is getting all your sweat and dead skin and other gunk that builds up off. I do painting, but it's usually just spray paint and clear coat. It's nothing super intricate or fancy. It just gets the job done, and it serves me well, because usually I want a bass that's almost entirely indestructible, and I don't care about finish whatsoever.
Are you more passionate about fixing guitars and basses than playing them?
It's kind of gotten to that point. Like, I want to play, I want to write music, I want to perform with bands and all that stuff, but I also take pride in the fact that I know how to do something that not a lot of other people know how to do.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, like I don't think anybody else who we had as a guest would have multiple bands, different types of artists or whatever. I don't think they can necessarily do what you can do on a guitar versus like
anybody can do it.
Soldering.
Anybody can do it. It
Right,
just takes
right.
time, and some people are like, I'll just take it to somebody else to take care of it.
The people that come to mind as far as people that like probably work on their gear the most would probably be like out of everybody that we've interviewed,
Right.
probably the Kimberleys.
I was thinking the Kimberleys too.
Yeah.
They probably know how to do that. I wouldn't be surprised.
They'd probably be my first guess. I wouldn't be surprised if like Euroglow or 10th Wave or any of those guys knew how to do it. At least the basics like restringing, cleaning, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But soldering, that's a little bit more time consuming, and some people are just like, I need it done now.
I'm surprised because I know I assume you've looked into like I guess you would go to like a technical school to like actually like build a guitar from scratch, like getting all the wood.
Yeah.
Or is it more like an apprenticeship?
Or as apprenticeship? Like where would you?
You can do both.
You can do both. Okay.
The guy that I learned or like got me interested into it, Nick, he went to a technical school and learned how to do it. And he graduated from that in like 2 years and is made like 3 times as much as or something ridiculous like that of his counterparts that went to college.
Wow. Yeah.
Because that's big.
Just building guitar.
Actually, I do have one more other guest that I know that can do it for sure. Aaron.
Yeah.
Because
didn't think about Aaron.
Wow.
He was at the very beginning of the show. And like at the time, I wasn't super duper following you guys super hard. It just kind of started building as more and more people came on, and I was like,
have you listened to almost every episode?
Not every episode, but I've tried to listen to at least every other one.
Have you felt like it's gotten better over time?
I think you've developed what you want to do better. Because like it started off, you had Amanda and Erica on here, and you have like Kendra and Alberto, right?
Yeah.
Alberto. You have them on, but I think you've developed more as a music podcast. Instead of just like having your friends come over and sit in your closet for like 2 hours and record audio.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I don't mean to roast you like that, but
no, that's a valid, because I thought the same thing too. Because like I'm like, all right, we need to get like, no offense to our friends, but like our friends, not that they weren't artists or whatever, but like, I wanted to get to the point where I can just interview anybody who's just not my immediate friend and get some actual good interviews and actual good discussion out of it.
Yeah,
whatever. And
which we definitely have.
And which we definitely have. And I think I want to say the Kimberleys is where I really like. Okay, I know how to like. Because, like, in the Kimberly's interview, I remember when it was happening, they're kind of more, like, less talkative or whatever. But, like, I think the halfway mark, they kind of became more loose and more talkative. I'm like, okay, that's, and for the most, before that half, it was me and John kind of, like, picking up, like, all right, for the dead space and kind of, like, the more slower, more quieter moments to, because the podcast is not... Yeah. It's a little bit different than you would normally do for just a normal typical interview, because a normal typical interview is very shorter. It's no more than an hour long. A podcast is an hour and a half, 2 hours, even beyond that. Yeah. So a lot of the podcasting is more on the host to actually be the main core of the personality. You just kind of get our personality through the lens of us interviewing people.
Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan podcast is a great example of that. Right, Joe Rogan is the main appeal of the episode.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Joe Rogan Experience, right?
Shout out.
Right, I was actually listening to his recent episode with Elon Musk. Very interesting episode.
Yeah.
Very interesting episode.
Oh God.
There's only really one other podcast that I watch and listen to besides you guys, and it's hosted by a company out in California called Nerdist.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Okay. And they have a podcast.
Like Pete Holmes and stuff.
Yeah, they have a podcast called Bizarre States, which is
who?
all about. Their 2 main hosts are Jessica Chobot and Andrew Bowser, and they do like a lot of paranormal and like so like ghosts and aliens and monsters and stuff like that. Not everybody believes in that stuff, and I don't know if I believe in all of it, but I just enjoy their podcast as a whole. I know you don't believe in that stuff, John.
Oh, I absolutely don't. I mentioned it in one of my classes with my students, and they straight up said, like, you don't believe in ghosts? I'm like, no, absolutely not. Straight up, I don't.
But
yeah, same here. Like, I've never really believed in it, but like I think it's one of those things where it's just a fun idea to have to think that these things exist.
Yeah.
Right? I don't mind people like if they don't take it in a very serious way, because you know the little ghost hunters or whatever, they got the shaky can, they got the what was that?
Something
the paper.
moved.
Oh my God, who moved that paper? like when it's like that, like
people listening to the audio are gonna be super confused.
Yeah, I just kind of moved. I just moved my interview list of questions.
Oh no! Did my shirt move?
When it's that like tongue in cheek, I love that shit. But like when people like really take it serious, I'm like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here, man?
Well, you know, it's kind of like reality TV in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, where like, you know, I remember specifically finding a YouTube video where they clearly like messed up the reality part of reality TV. There's supposed to be some scene where like someone like just throws ice at someone else,
right? In
like a Jersey Shore episode,
right? I love me some Jersey Shore, by the way.
Which you can tell, you know, how old this video is based on the fact that Jersey Shore is still relevant.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
They brought it back too.
Did they bring it back?
Yeah.
Ew.
They also have other versions of Jersey Shore. Like they have one called Floribama Shore. Or something like that.
Floribama, like isn't specifically like it's like Tallahassee and that border. Like
it's the border between Florida and Alabama.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's interesting, dude.
You know, I think I'd find that more interesting than Florida Georgia line.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So Connor, so we had the discussion a lot on our previous podcast about like the 90s grunge rock era.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. We talked about Nirvana and Foo Fighters.
Oh! Like, actually, before we even dive into the next question, Nirvana or Foo Fighters, Connor?
Speak wisely, boy.
We're putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
I've got my reasoning, and I know John's not going to agree because we literally have this argument every time we hang out.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I'm going to go Nirvana.
Yeah. For everybody's safe choice, right?
It's more like if bands like Nirvana and Soundgarden and those of the older guard hadn't been able to fight their way through and become as popular as they were, I don't think bands like Foo Fighters would have had much of a chance. They would have stayed more underground than anything else. I know Foo Fighters goes a little bit more pop with things, and they have a great sound. They get a little bit more complicated with chord progressions and stuff, which I appreciate. I think that's a good thing to have. But I'm a very simple boy. I just need simple things in my life, and I think Nirvana scratches my itch more than Foo Fighters does.
Yeah. So my question isn't necessarily about the Nirvana versus Foo Fighters or whatever, but
we had to get that out of the way.
Yeah, get that out of the way.
Like every other podcast episode.
I know.
Is that just a solid gonna stay in the list forever question?
You know, maybe because I think it's such a relatable question for like everybody to just be like
for musicians.
Yeah.
Less
your
average,
what I like to call normies.
Oh my God.
What I wanted to ask is like what's the because like me personally, me growing up, like, you know, I kind of missed that wave of the 90s grunge rock era. Like I wasn't really a part of it, and I've only
neither was I, dude. I'm younger than you.
No, hold on. Like I only know about it like way in post, way past. Like I'm trying to ask, like, what do you think is the overall appeal of grunge rock that really resonates with this subculture of, you know, I don't like to put like race towards music, but specifically like white people really, really love that 90s grunge rock era. Like what do you think is the overall appeal?
Secret sauce.
I'm gonna get even more specific.
Right.
Like you didn't want to bring race into it, but I'm also gonna bring class stuff into it too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it's more of like a middle class or like lower class that are really into it.
Right.
Because of the fact that these dudes walked around and like talked the same way we do. They walked around in the same sort of clothes that we wear. Like, look at me. This is literally what half of the grunge people looked like.
For those listening in audio, I just want to point out that Conor has a black T-shirt with a logo.
It's like
the band is Bad Brains. They are a like reggae punk rock band from Washington D.C., which is one of Dave Grohl, I think's inspirations for him to do music, because Dave Grohl is also from Washington D.C.
Yeah. And he's wearing a cap worn backwards. That's
Texas. It has the TX Texas logo on it. So, I'm wearing a pair of like ratty Converse, and I'm
some
wearing
grass green cargo shorts.
I usually also have a flannel, but it was very, very warm and toasty when I left my dorm this morning. So I was like, no flannel today.
Hold on, Conor.
John, I don't need your trash.
And your goddamn famous flannel. You know, you bring up a good point, because I think about the rock music right beforehand. They always had these like flashy outfits or super well dressed. Like, you know, they're like these big, larger than life motherfuckers that like, you know, you're always looking above them. So
like David Bowie type guys that just like dress up and create all these crazy characters and stuff.
Right, and abstract ideas. So like, you know, when Nirvana came through, they were just
regular guys.
All the way fucking down to the most simplistic, and it did appeal to, you know, like we said, to that, you know, that white, you know, lower to middle class, you know, section of people. Because don't get it fucked up. That was the main people who liked that. And, you know, and like I said, like, you know, I don't like to bring race into music, because like I feel like music just kind of
music's for everybody.
Yeah, music perpetrates race, but like, you know, sometimes you can't separate it. I think
especially with
hip hop. Like hip hop is going to be black no matter what. Like
no matter how much me as a white boy loves hip hop.
Yeah, you cannot separate the blackness from hip hop. But everybody can appreciate it if you're not black, of course. But like with grunge rock, I felt like that was like the closest like very white Pacific thing that like white people really loved and appealed to, and they had that type of wave, and it was the most dominant music thing
at the
time, for at least until what would you say when grunge rock was at the highest, and then when it kind of started to die off?
It was like it actually started off in the 80s. It wasn't.
Did it? Okay.
It didn't start becoming popular until like the 90s.
Right.
And that's when a lot of the bands got their big record deals and all that stuff.
Pearl Jam, Soundgarden,
Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, and Nirvana were the main ones. Foo Fighters actually kind of came out after, like almost immediately after.
Post wave.
Yeah.
Right.
The second wave of grunge happened. But like I think it peaked around like 93, 94.
Okay.
And then it started to take a downturn after that, because a lot of the big bands for that genre either started breaking up, or members were dying of one reason or another.
Terrible, yeah.
And I'm not going to get into some of it, because there's a lot of conspiracy stuff that I believe. Especially with like the Kurt Cobain thing and him passing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know any of the conspiracies and stuff like that.
The main one that everyone talks about and says like they're on the fence about is the theory is Courtney Love, who was his wife, the mother of his child, actually had him killed. And there's certain science-y, like forensic things that say that could be the case.
Okay, so it's not full on like tinfoil hatchet. Like there's like legitimate.
There's a lot of within the last couple of years. There was a couple of documentaries that came out called "Soaked in Bleach," "Montage of Heck." They were all about Kurt Cobain's life and about his death. Also, I think it was "Soaked in Bleach" was actually narrated by the guy who Courtney Love hired to find Kurt after he escaped from the rehab center he was at.
Wow.
And he's like, there's no doubt in my mind that Courtney Love is the one that had him killed, type thing.
Shit.
Yeah.
See, now what I'm gonna say about that is that, like, I feel like a lot of it is still very speculative.
Yes, it is.
You know?
Allegedly.
There's also a lot of other weird inconsistencies that come along with that whole conspiracy theory. Like his death certificate came out the same day or like just the day after they found his body, not enough to actually do a very thorough autopsy.
But I have to ask you a question. Did the Russians force Kurt Cobain's popularity and sales to go up with Nirvana?
Not the Russians.
Did they hack the internet at the time?
John, the internet was still running on floppy disks. I doubt it.
Did they hack everything? Do computer magic? To force Kurt Cobain to go?
Computer magic.
Yeah. I will. I'll really have to like do a deep dive one of these days on the internet and just look at all these conspiracy theories, because like he was such a
he was a monumental figure for a lot of people. Yeah. My band director from high school, my sophomore through senior year, she was a 90s kid and grew up like in high school when he passed.
Wow.
And I was like, what were you doing like when he passed and stuff? Because I was interested, because she'd talk about it every now and again. And she was like, I was sitting around with like the dark mascara around my eyes, running, red flannel, like black band t-shirts and like ripped up jeans and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could have just not added in the stereotype stuff. You could have just left it. I was very sad because he actually kind of spoke to me more than a lot of other musicians did.
Yeah. And I don't think ever since he passed away, I don't think I've ever seen another like white person that resonated with that specific demographic of white people, which is the vast majority of white people in America.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Eminem. Eminem was probably the next one.
But he had to do with a rapper, different genre of music.
Yeah. But typically with rock, I can't. I don't know. I'm not a big I'm not a super big rockhead.
No, but Elvis was afterward or beforehand.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to think like.
But I don't think white people resonated with Elvis like that. I wonder if there's a podcast like you just do a deep dive on the vast history and all the music or whatever of a very specific musician.
I think y'all should do that.
Sure.
Just like if you can't get an artist like or a friend or whoever to come on your podcast, maybe do that for like certain filler episodes and stuff like that.
My only thing with that is a large chunk of music is in the experience. Yeah. Because we were not present, clearly we weren't born in the 70s when Michael Jackson came out with THOR. Michael Jackson was really, really Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And some of the things you can't actually read about. I mean, you can't read about it like to actually get it and actually feel it. You gotta actually be there to experience it. So like with those things, I would actually have to get somebody who was actually there and actually in tune with the Michael Jackson music scene and stuff like that to actually give his firsthand experience and stuff like that. So we would only have to do like shit. We would have to do what like we could probably do like Linkin Park. Or some shit like
you
or like that area.
You know what?
That'd be
because we were there in middle school listening and just to see how.
Actually, getting back to like the next person, I guess Chester from Linkin Park.
Yeah.
That he might be the next.
Oh,
you know.
That'd be a good contender. I don't know if he's the only one, but there's got to be like some other.
I think
people
he's
in rock.
like the most recent. As of right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or next to Chris Cornell.
Yeah. Which.
You know.
I love Nirvana and everything, and I think they're probably up there in terms of like musicians and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I also
definitely.
love Chris Cornell intensely.
Yeah,
I remember the summer he passed. It was the one summer that I was here for classes, and I had $100 saved up so I could buy my ticket and buy just one piece of merch to go to Fort Rock. And I missed one of my housing payments, so I had to pay that $100 as a late fee, so I couldn't go to see him at Fort Rock. And then like a month or two later is when he passed.
Yeah.
And I was torn to shreds about it.
Damn. This it's pretty sad situations. But I wanted to say this one last quote before we go on. I think a lot of music, at least from my experience, a lot of music is a emotional connection, a feeling.
Yeah.
Towards music. I feel like Kurt Cobain, he's probably like just such a great example of music just being a feeling and people attaching to that feeling and that emotion beyond just like clearly he's never that technical. His songs are very simple. Some of the songs are questionable as what they actually mean or whatever, but
yeah,
the motherfuckers who were lower to middle class white people, they felt that shit. As soon as those songs kicked on, they just had a very emotional attachment towards it.
For sure. There was one quote that I'd like to add, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. And this is where you're going to appreciate it, John, because I'm going to give Dave Grohl some credit.
Oh.
There's a quote that I read in a magazine from him that was like, I could be up on stage playing guitar and singing to 5,000 different people for one reason, and they'll all be singing back to me for 5,000 different reasons. Like, music is such a great thing that connects us all together, and everybody may not have the same reasoning behind it, loving a song, but everybody loves certain songs for certain reasons and stuff like that.
Yeah. But so I wanted to get into your college phase.
I'm sorry.
You're still in college or whatever, but we all originally met through the music club.
Yeah. Yes.
And I think I originally met you in particular through music club.
Yeah.
I think, did I meet you through music club, John?
I think we met through mutual friends who happened to be in music club.
Okay. I think that makes sense.
I know I met both of you through music club pretty much.
Right. So how did you? I don't think I. So how did you find music club, and what were your impressions of it? Because I think did you join when I was running music club?
I don't know. I joined it my freshman year.
Shit.
Like I knew Amanda, who y'all had. What episode was it? Was she 2?
Episode 2.
Okay. Amanda, and then her boyfriend at the time. I knew both of them.
Right.
We were friends, and they were like, hey, we've been going to music club. I think you'd enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went once, and initially I was like, people, not a fan. And then I started going a little bit more frequently, and I got more and more into it.
And then he became the president.
Yeah. Because John doesn't know how to tug on people's heartstrings, and I do.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Music club was such an interesting time because I was originally a part of music club like way early on.
Yeah.
Like the second
during the dark ages.
By the way, I'm still salty about that presidency. You
sorry,
stole
not
that
sorry,
election
John.
from me.
Yeah.
You know, I came in with the whole like, I have all the gear. I can run open mic nights. I can run events. I can run meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been president before. I have experience.
Yeah.
And they voted for you anyways.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because heartstrings, John. People aren't robots.
because you said the words, I think of music club as a family.
Yeah.
You fucking pussy ass bitch cunt fucker.
Listen, John, I'm sorry I know how to work the people. That's not my fault.
Yeah, people know how to work the emotion. It was a good speech. Don't discredit my man Conor. It was a decent speech. He's like, family. It's like Vin Diesel was like, family. Yeah, I see you guys in my family. I love music club.
See? And that's why I'm still salty.
Yeah.
Because I'm too fucking cynical.
But
emotions, fuck that.
But nah, dog, like, yeah, there was some dark times with music club before you and Conor joined.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever, it was just me and, like, one other person.
That was, like, the year before I came in there.
Yeah, it was, like, Tim was there. Maybe, like, 4 people who were frequently going there. And
Episode 1. Shout out to Tim, by the way.
Love Tim.
And then, weirdly enough, like, around the time that you started to come, like, it started to pick up. And then where I started to become more involved and more of a leadership position in the club, that's where it kind of all started to culminate. And, like, we started to do, like, open mic nights and having different actual, like, activity plans, like, each time that were, like, concrete, and then having everybody participate and shit. And, I don't know. Like, we all ran music club. What was your experience of, like, running a club? What was your individual? I know
this is a room of presidents.
A room of presidents. Or I was actually vice president. I was never president.
You know what this feels like? This feels like Bush, Trump, and Obama.
we'll let the listeners
technically
decide who's
wouldn't
which.
Sydney be Biden because he was only vice president?
Wait, were you?
I was only vice president.
You were only vice president.
I was never president.
Oh.
But I like me and me and Brad, we had a mutual agreement of like, all right,
co-president type thing.
I was honorary, like, president.
You were the people's president.
I was the people's president. Yeah, even though he was technical president, but since he was technical president, he had to deal with all the paperwork, and shit like that. And then I ran the club on a day-to-day basis. But so how was everybody's each individual experiences of running music clubs? Since you guys, like, how was you're the one who ran music club this past year. Like, how was your experience running it?
It was less about like the weekly meetings and more about the open mic nights and stuff.
Right.
I think that's the one thing that I got the most enjoyment, and the rest of, as far as I know, our friends and whatnot, and even random strangers got the most enjoyment out of.
Yeah, no, we got a good like 50, sometimes 100 people that were just walking by or show up for like, sit down for like half an hour because we had some amazing acts just come up. Just
even if it was just our friends that were like playing guitar or whatever, like up on stage, we'd have people come and sit down and chill out for like a good 30 minutes.
Oh yeah,
out of nowhere. Like we'd be like, "Oh, so who do you know?" And they're like, "Oh no, I just saw this going on and I wanted to come check it out." But like even getting bands to come and perform, which I don't know if anybody else before me did that.
No, actually.
No, yeah.
Like it was all just individual people. The most we've ever had is like
Lucid Lake.
No, not even that.
Right, Fathom.
Actually, that's right. We did have Fathom, but it was a show specifically for them.
Yeah,
I think. I actually didn't show up to that event. I knew it was going on, and I remember it happening. And they have videos on Facebook. So if you guys ever check out Fathom's page,
those are you. Huh? Did you shoot those videos, Joe?
No, not at all. I wasn't at the event.
Right.
Oh, man.
So what was the so you were less about the
like
weekly.
the weekly meetings.
Yeah.
We didn't have the highest attendance.
Right.
Like I remember the year before that when Sam was president before me, right?
Sam was president before you, yeah.
Okay. We had very good weekly meetings. He was a fantastic president. I'd love for you guys to have him on the podcast whenever he's down.
Oh yeah,
that'd be great.
Next time, that'd be great. Sam's a great.
I love that guy. Forever.
He's a definite episode. Whenever he, Sam's gone off and doing awesome things.
But whenever
he's working for the University of Chicago. Like
he's balling out. Like,
but like, I think that's what. I wasn't the best president, I don't think personally, but
that's very honest to admit.
I think bringing the outside music scene into FGCU to the point where like people that I know from school have started to go see these bands and like searched them out to go see them. I'm like, that's all I can ask for.
Yeah.
I just want the music scene to grow, and it's less about like I go to FGCU and I play music, blah blah blah, and I want to get big on campus. And it's less about I'm a band out here and I want to make it big time. Music's a community, and we've all got to grow together and like build ourselves up, or else we're kind of just gonna fail.
Would you say that we're all a family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Conor.
So what about your experience, John? Like how did you view yourself as being music club's president? I was still going to school.
So
when you were music club president, right?
When I was president, this is basically what happened. The first semester I thought was like great. We have growth, we have things going on, things are happening. We submitted budgets and everything, right? The second semester was actually super like.
Excuse me.
This was like kind of crunch time. And it was along the lines of just like
spring semester.
Yeah.
Right.
So spring semester, like everything fell through. Like it was hard being president, or not even hard being president. It was just that I didn't make the time for it.
Right.
Like I should have at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So like which I feel like is kind of common because usually spring is when people have the most stress. They're about to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
They have all this work that they need to get done, or they're trying to apply to grad programs or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that and I forget which spring it was that I was president. I think it was
I think it was my freshman year, or was it my sophomore year?
I think it was your sophomore, because I could have sworn I was president at least at one time when you were first coming. I'm not sure.
I thought I was vice president or secretary. Oof. I've got I have an old version of a resume that probably has the answer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Classy.
Yeah.
I know, right?
That'll impress all of your employers.
Oh God,
yeah.
No, because I was like leadership positions. I don't know what I did. Music club.
Yeah. I felt like when I was the vice president, at least. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about how you guys saw it, because you guys are also going to music club. I saw music club like at a point where it just needed a nice, good push with new ideas and a new.
It needed a shot in the arm.
You need a shot in the arm. Like it needed a wake up call, because like if I felt like, you know, because me and Brad were running it, like I felt like, all right, if I don't try to reinvigorate and actually put myself in this leadership position, because like I was kind of like holding back, because for a while, because like a lot of the semesters or whatever, I was like, nah, I don't feel like doing it. Nah, I don't feel like doing it or whatever. Like I kind of like at the very like crunch time of music club, like the changing point where it was like, all right, it's either gonna be just a whatever club that's gonna kind of get swept away, or whatever is gonna be a good club where we actually get to do some shit. I felt like I kind of came right at that in between
that crossroads.
That crossroads, right?
Right.
So when I started doing it, I tried to at least try to make it very engaging and feel like people really belong to something beyond just music club. And me, we would always go and eat afterwards. I would always invite people to my place. We would have different parties and stuff like that. People would come to music club even when it wasn't music club days, and come over to my apartment just to talk and conversate and stuff like that. So I just really think I was more focused on building a relationship,
a community.
You're right, a community in music club to get people to keep on going or whatever. And even though we didn't do, at least when I was president, we only did like maybe 2 open mic nights, and they were kind of like, they were nothing compared to what you were doing and what John was doing when he was president, or vice versa. I don't know when it was, but I think I kind of tried to at least lay out the groundwork for you to do, like, you know, at least be committed to do these open mic nights and stuff. But I mean, that's kind of my personal experience.
Sydney, I'm gonna say this, and y'all can argue with me if you want, but I think you were the best host of any of the open mic nights that we've had on campus.
Yeah,
like the best host. I don't know if y'all feel that way, because I was just like, I'm here. Here's the next person. Let's go. I want to get off the stage now.
Well, you see, the thing is, like, as a host, right? Your job isn't necessarily to, you know, garner any attention or be entertaining 100% of the time, you know, which I know Sydney understood that point at the very least.
Yeah.
And so, like, I would just say that they're 2 different methods.
Yeah.
You know, like, the way that I see it with when Sydney hosted, I mean, it obviously there would be like some one-liner or something kind of tongue-in-cheek or something that would come out of Sydney's mouth that, you know, everyone gets a little bit of a laugh, like almost like I'm trying to think, like I don't know, like
a little 5-second comedy bit type thing.
Like a little bit of commentary just in between the acts of like a variety show or something.
Basically, I was like the spit on the dick right before you go inside the pussy. I need a little bit of lube. It was just a, you know, just a little something.
If that's how you feel about yourself, Sydney.
If that makes you happy.
But no, I think you're right. Like, I think that's what so my mindset, like, I wasn't, you know, I'm not the main attraction. The main attractions are the people who are performing or whatever. But, like, I honestly...
You made it an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah, there's a lot of space to fill in between the acts and people setting up and stuff like that. And I kind of wanted to just at least occupy and fill that space. Even if I was, you know... And I tried to be somewhat entertaining, not like too entertaining. Like, all right, man, just sign up on the list if you're gonna if you're gonna have a little 5-minute
or even
comedy
with,
set.
But even with, you know, Conor as a host, I will say that it's a different style, you know.
Right.
And what I mean by that is like
don't give me compliments, John. I don't need a self-esteem.
Shut the fuck up, Conor. No, but honestly, you know, as a host, you went there to do your job, even if you didn't want to.
Yeah.
And that by itself is something to respect.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good.
That's fine.
Yeah,
okay.
I appreciate it.
I wasn't sure.
Here.
Yeah. But anyways.
So one last, like, question, and then we can go into a fun question. So what is your if you had like an ultimate role that you would want to provide in a local music scene, if you have to like choose that role, what do you think? What would that role be? Would you be the dude that everybody would go to in order to fix their gear? Would you be the dude who would organize the events, like a what do you call it? Just a
like a host,
like a host event planner.
Yeah.
Would you be like a tastemaker? Like, hey man, these are the good bands to go check out. Like, would you be an influencer? Like, what would be like the ultimate role if you were transported into some local music scene? What would you want to be in that music scene?
I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Right.
Being here
Right.
has opened up a lot of stuff. Because Lakeland, we don't have like a big music scene.
Right.
If you want to go anywhere to see music, you have to go to Tampa or you have to go to Orlando, or like anywhere else outside of Lakeland. We had one little shop for a few years when I was in middle school and in high school called Evolution Records.
Right.
And they would host shows and all that sort of stuff. And then they got shut down. And there's no live music anymore. I want to be like the jack of all trades, one-stop shop where everybody can go. If they need their gear fixed, I'll take care of it.
Right.
If they're looking for instruments, I'll have like a few in stock. If they're looking for music to look at, I'll have some. If they want to have a concert type thing and could get bands together, I want to have a little venue in the back where people can come and play and perform. I want to do it all because I've seen like Beach Records, which is just like a little record shop, but they have a stage and they have bands come in. That's a great time. I love going there to see that. I've seen like I haven't gone to Howl yet, but I have been to like Nice Guys Pizza is everything really that you kind of
I really
need.
love Nice Guys Pizza. Like, it's amazing.
Nice Guys Pizza.
And then Nice Guys Pizza. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's
is it run by Mickey Mouse? Oh, Mickey Mouse.
Now we got to cut that out because Disney's going to sue us, Connor. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. But like I kind of want to act as the catalyst when I go back to Lakeland. I want to jumpstart all of it. If I'm not the main person forever, that's fine by me. If there's somebody that comes in better than me at being a tech, more power to them.
Right.
That's fine by me. If somebody comes in that's a better host, awesome, great, cool.
Yeah.
At least there's a music scene to go see. Like I have to go to what?
Well, go ahead.
I thought you whispered something, John. Don't scare me like that.
No, I didn't whisper anything. Jesus. No.
But like me and my friends, whenever we want to go see somebody, we gotta go like an hour out of the way. It's an hour over there and an hour back.
That's torturous.
Yeah. I just want to be the catalyst.
Right.
I've got a lot of friends that are starting up bands in Lakeland.
Yeah.
And if I can give them a place to come and play and promote them and all that sort of stuff, fix their gear, whatever they need, I'll do it.
I actually think that, there's a little bit of there's also a whole nother opportunity, for bands.
Okay.
And it's usually like this, everyone, like initially when, YouTube, Facebook and everything was getting popular, people were able to very easily rise to popularity in some way, shape, or form, right?
Right.
Like, back when anyone could make a Facebook page about literally anything.
Yeah.
There was a person that said, "Let's see if this onion ring can reach more fans than Justin Bieber."
Yeah.
And then it did.
Yeah. I think my favorite like Facebook page was it's called Roach Nigga. It's literally just a roach. And he would just like post roach like things and memes and shit like that. And then I was like, and then a couple years, maybe a year or two later, I was like, man, why am I following this shit? Like, let me just.
There's one that I still love. It's called Animals in Predicaments. Okay. And it's just like random animals stuck in strange spots. Like there's a cow that's stuck in between a fence and all this other random stuff. It's great. And I always love it. Yeah. Memes forever.
I feel like there are a lot of bands that, including Lucid Lake, I'll be honest.
Roasted.
That God damn it. Not sponsored, by the way.
Sure it isn't, John.
That don't take the time to really update their social media to the utmost effectiveness, and I think part of it too is that so the first thing is like, not everyone can be an expert in search engine optimization, but in order to get bigger in the online market, you
kind of have to be.
Yeah. Not to mention, it depends on how broad or niche your topic is going to be.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, who else are you competing with?
Yeah.
All the other 2000s alt rock bands. John.
We are moving away from that, Connor. You can't say that anymore because we haven't been.
You're trying.
Yeah.
No, but we haven't been. We're focusing on original music.
Yeah.
Which means it's all going to be coming out in 2018 or 2019.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah. Let's do a fun question. Let's close out. This has been a good episode, man. I think it was the first time we actually just majorly just talked to the person about different various music. So we enjoy having you on, Connor.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Connor.
But it's the weekend, so we trying to go out, trying to have some fun. We all dressed up.
Are we gonna do like a lightning round of questions, like just completely random questions?
I like doing my lightning round.
Yeah, let's do the lightning round.
Because I also have a question for you guys that I came up completely random.
Okay.
But I'm gonna wait till the end.
Okay, yeah, this is the lightning round.
Let's see. Let's say you met a girl, perfect 10 out of 10, but you can only talk to her online. Skype calls are okay, but only online.
Okay.
Would you date this girl?
Like we'd never meet in person.
Never.
Ever. Pass. I'm not gonna do it.
All right.
I need physical. I want somebody that's actually there.
Okay. Let's say that you were to be reincarnated as virtually anyone. Who would you be?
Freddy Krueger.
All right. Let's see.
Interesting.
All right. What do you type in the Pornhub search bar?
No comment.
Let's see.
Thor-looking dude dominates.
Sydney, don't give away my search history.
Dominates girl with mighty hammer.
If you could have 30 people work on the world's biggest problems, what would the problem that you'd want them to work on be? 30 of the smartest people, they're experts in the field of whatever you want them to work on.
Like the Elon Musk of the world and shit, like super geniuses.
This is going to be very...
Be careful with Elon Musk. He now accuses people of being pedophiles.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be very vague about this, but I'm going to say sustainability.
Okay.
Just in general, sustainability.
Okay.
I feel like people are already trying to get that.
Oh, yeah, but you don't have a ton of people that are focusing on it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of...
I think you do. There are quite a few people.
I think sustainability in different definitions of sustainability.
Because, let's get back to Elon Musk, aside from recent news.
Yeah.
Because he's already one of those people working on it very intensely with,
Or Tesla.
Tesla.
But is he really trying to bring the price of his cars down so that it could be more affordable to the common man? Or is it still...
He made the Tesla Tesla Model S, which was 100,000, and then made the Model 3, which is 30,000. It's getting there.
It's working its way down.
Yeah.
It's
gonna take time.
Well, here's the thing. Just to even make those type of cars or whatever, the amount of cost and the expense or whatever, they have to be more than $50,000 outside of the normal price range for a normal person.
Well, also not to mention that the way they designed the cars is based off of rockets.
Yeah.
There's literal rocket science that goes into their cars.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science, guys. Come on. It's just designing a car.
Yeah, but give it time. Give it another, I would say if Tesla and other companies are actually trying to make the electric cars, I would say.
I don't mean just electric cars though. I mean all sorts of sustainability.
I'm saying specifically
well, because he also has
20
the Boring Company and SpaceX
and Solar City.
I didn't know about Solar
Neuralink.
City. Because he had the solar panel roof tiles.
Ah, okay.
You remember that?
I remember that. I just didn't know it was under whatever you said.
Yeah, no, Elon Musk still. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's they're working on it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, let's see. Actually, give me a selfish answer. Give me you have 30 experts working on something for you. What would it be?
Getting me into an actual band instead of just playing by myself.
What would your porn star name be? I already know the answer.
Dollar Store Thor, of course.
I mean, that's obvious right there. You bring him the hammer.
Or you could just call me Chocolate Thunder. It's fine. Either one.
Let's see.
Excuse me, white chocolate thunder.
Instead of a hammer, it's like a mallet.
Yeah.
Or some shit.
All right. What's your spirit Pokemon?
Spirit Pokemon, Snorlax. I sleep way too much.
Let's see. Let's say you could design your own baby. What would be the key features of your baby?
Design a baby.
Red hair, freckles, and green eyes.
Oh.
Because I wanted to be different.
Oh. All right. So what was your
my question, or John, do you have more questions?
I'm trying to see.
go ahead, let Connor.
If you had this is going to be a would you rather.
Oh,
would
boy.
you rather if you were flexible enough, drink a shot out of your own belly button or French kiss a rattlesnake?
Oh,
shot out of the belly button.
Shot out of the belly button.
Dang.
Hell no, man. That was a very easy.
Like
one of my I asked my friend that the other day and she's like, I'd have to think about that for a while.
Can I tell a side story? I'll keep it very vague, but basically, back in my younger years when I was when all my friends were all turning 21 because they're all the same age. We were at this place called Bar Louie that's now closed down in the Gulf Coast Town Center.
Bar Louie.
No.
And my friend, she was having her 21st birthday party. So there's a whole bunch of us, maybe like 20 of us. We're all drinking. We're all having fun. Most of us, I think she was like one of the later people who turned 21. So everybody else was 21, right? And, you know, we're having fun. A whole bunch of girls there, a whole bunch of guys there and stuff. We're all young and being cool and shit. So, and at the time, it was just kind of mostly us at the bar and, you know, some other people there. And this dude, he saw us having fun. He's like, yo, do you guys want any shots? I'm like, what, shots? So this dude buys us not only just one, but 2 rounds of shots. But like they were like blowjob shots. You know what I mean? Blowjob shots. They're like
really nice shots.
Really nice shots. A little bit more pricier shots. So he buys everybody 2 rounds of shots, right? And then he's like, you know, he started. He saw the energy that we were having. You know, the young energy. He's like, oh, I want to be a part of that. So he you know, everybody starts chanting already, like belly button shot, belly button shot, belly button shot. Mind you. This dude kind of...
Was he a large boy?
He was kind of like John. He had the John hair all over his chest and body.
Surprise, it was actually me.
Oh, shit. He was disguised.
So, no, wait. No, here's the thing. I don't know what the definition... Okay, do you pour the alcohol in the belly button?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they just...
That's what she did. Right, so poured it in. Now, mind you,
did she pull like a 3-inch long hair out of her mouth?
Bruh, I was recording it, and I was still disgusted just even watching that shit. I was just like, oh my god, and like this dude, his belly button's really hairy. Like it was a little bit too
here,
much,
man.
And. But she had to do it though, cause he bought literally. This is after he bought us 2 rounds of shots. I was like,
she didn't have to do anything.
I was like, yo, dog, you kind of.
No means no, Sydney. She didn't have to do it.
That's demonetization.
Hey man, you need. I was like, hey, just do this one favor. And then when she did it, she did, and like I felt like a piece of hair like caught in the back of my throat. I was like, oh my gosh,
that's great, dude.
Good times, man. But yeah,
college.
Yeah, so this is episode 17 of the John's Closet podcast. We had a guest, Connor.
Episode 17 with Connor.
What's your social media? Where can they find you?
I'm on Facebook, Conor Belvin. I'm on Instagram at Conor Belvin, and I'm on Snapchat, but you'll have to ask for that.
Oh, yes.
Connor
it's
sends
a premium Snapchat.
Connor sends at least a dozen dick pics in his Snap story a day.
You're right.
And then, of course, you can follow us on social media, John_Closet_ on
JON. Remember?
Yeah, JON. Yes, JON.
There is no H in John's Closet.
No H. And follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook and stuff like that. But yeah, this is John's Closet Podcast, episode 17. We're going to be out.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.